Hi there, I'm Dr. Jessica Zuba, pediatrician at Be Well Pediatrics in Austin, Texas, and welcome back to the brand new baby course week 2. This week, we're going to be talking to you about weird things babies do that are totally normal, starting a routine, and signs of illness. A little bit more serious of a topic today. But first up is this normal. So this, to me, it looks like a picture of a baby that's about to sneeze, and sneezing is totally normal baby thing to do. The reason you and I don't go around sneezing all the time is because our brain has learned to not to do that every time our nose itches, but babies' brains are still learning to do that. So they will sneeze often, and it does not mean that they have allergies. It's not likely at this age. Just like hiccups, also an immature nervous system thing. Hiccups are just a spasm of the diaphragm, or that dome-shaped muscle between our lungs and our abdomen. Babies have been doing it since the womb. Most moms can feel their babies hiccup when they're pregnant. Hiccups can be triggered really by anything. It has nothing to do with feeding, burping, or not burping. Again, it's just their immature nervous system hasn't learned to suppress those hiccups yet. All right, and baby acne, also a totally normal thing that babies do, usually starts between 2 to 6 weeks of age and resolves within a few weeks, and has to do with fluctuating hormones. So during pregnancy, babies are connected to mom through the umbilical cord and exposed to all of mom's hormones, and once baby is born, there's a big drop in hormone exposure for baby, and this can lead to things like baby acne. Unlike teenage or adult acne, baby acne does not lead to scarring, so no need to worry about that. Changes in hormones can also lead to things like vaginal discharge in girls, which can be white and sometimes even bloody or look like spotting. You can also see breast enlargement or breast bud development in boys and girls, and sometimes they can even produce breast milk. It's pretty wild the things hormones can do. All right, next up, we're going to be talking about creating routines. And I'm not talking about a schedule. Trying to create a schedule with a newborn is not going to be successful, and we want to set you up for success. So we're talking about routines, not schedules. And one of the biggest routines you can start working on now is a sleep routine. So especially at nighttime, you want to try to keep the room dark, feed, and then go back to sleep and repeat. So nighttime should not be playtime or entertainment time. It really should just be for feeding and sleeping. You can even start thinking about setting up a sleep clue, like taking a bath, reading a story, or singing a song, like something that you'll do before bedtime. So eventually baby learns like, oh, Tickle Little Star is playing. I'm going to go to bed and then go to sleep. So that's hopefully what we want baby to learn by setting up a routine or setting up what we call a sleep cue. All right, now on to a more serious topic of the day, signs of a sick baby. And we're going to help remember them by FBF, or feeding, breathing, fight. So the first F, or feeding. So healthy babies will wake up to feed, they will feed often, they will feed vigorously, they will have a good suck. Sick babies, on the other hand, may not wake up to feed. They might sleep through 2 or more feedings, or they might not feed well, or might not have a strong suck when they do feed. So if you notice those things in your baby, I would definitely call your pediatrician. And the B of FBF, so feeding, breathing. So babies can sometimes do what we call periodic breathing, which is again normal and has to do with the immature nervous system, where you might notice that they breathe really slow for a few seconds and then catch up by breathing really fast. And that is totally normal. But if baby is breathing really fast for an extended period of time, that is not normal and can be a sign of illness. Also, a baby that breathes too slow for an extended period of time can be a sign of illness, or babies that are working really hard to breathe. And what I mean by that, you might notice that their nostrils are flaring, or that their muscles at the top of their neck are tugging or pulling, or the muscles between or under the ribs are doing the same thing. So that's a sign that baby's having trouble breathing, and that is definitely a phone call to your pediatrician. And the last F of FBF, so feeding, breathing, fight. So by fight, we mean, is your baby vigorous? Do they have good tone? Are they awake and alert? So a vigorous baby will cry when they're hungry. They'll cry when they're too hot, when they're too cold. They'll be awake and alert. A baby with good tone, like in this picture, will be holding his arms up, whereas a limp baby will just dangle their arms by their side, and if you pick them up, they'll just drop and flop right back down. So that is a limp baby, and that's a sign of sickness. And healthy babies are awake and alert and they're interactive, whereas sick babies might sleep more than normal, right? So those are things to watch out for signs of a sick baby, and all reasons to call your pediatrician right away. So there we had it, FBF, feeding, breathing, fight. Those are our topics for today. Next week, we'll be talking about getting some longer stretches of sleep, yay, and also about spit up and what's normal and what's not. Until then, be safe, be healthy, and be well.